Snot and tears. That should be the name of my YouTube channel. Here goes. Calm, capable, and confident. I want to start with where I am now, because it matters that you hear this part first. I'm okay. More than okay. I'm free, I'm safe, I'm calm, capable, and confident. And I choose those three words very deliberately, because for a long stretch of my life, not one of them was true. They started as a mantra I'd whisper to myself 14 years ago on mornings when I could barely lift my head off the pillow. And now they're just a description of a Tuesday or Thursday. That's the story, really. The distance between these two things, let me tell you how I crossed it. When I was a child, I was sexually abused. More than once, over a span of years. I'm not going to lay it all out here, partly because it's mine to hold and partly because the details aren't the point. The point is what it cost me afterwards and the longer, stranger story of how I got it back. For the best part of 30 years, I carried it in the way a lot of people carry these things, quietly, badly, while telling everyone, including myself, that I was fine. Depression, anxiety, and years later a diagnosis of PTSD that finally gave the thing a name. I braced against life. I held my breath through it. There's an old word for the kind of season I eventually hit. Katabasis. It comes from the Greek, literally a going down or a descent. The hero goes into the underworld before he comes back changed. I didn't know the word at the time, and at the time I just knew I couldn't get out of bed. 14 years ago, there was a string of days where I simply couldn't do it. Couldn't rise, couldn't function, couldn't pretend anymore. If you've ever been there, it's hard to explain how total it is. Not sadness exactly, more like the lights going out one room at a time. Here's the part I didn't understand until much later. That descent wasn't the thing that was breaking me. It was probably the thing that was turning me around. Because lying there in the worst of it, something quiet and stubborn in me said, this is not the life I want. Not as a lightning bolt, not as a turning point you'd put in a film, just a low, clear fact. I think I probably needed that winter, needed to go all the way down to the cold floor of it before anything could start growing again. Rest disguised as ruin. The descent was the beginning of the climb. I want to be honest, because the tidy version of these stories does more harm than good. There was no turning point, no morning where I woke up healed, no single decision that fixed me. What there was instead was a long string of ordinary days, and each one a choice to show up. That's it. That's the entire method. Show up. Do the next small right thing. Go to therapy. Move my body even when I didn't want to. Eat something that helped instead of something that numbed. Sleep, or at least try to. Breathe. Really breathe on purpose. Build one honest habit, and then when it held, build another. None of it was dramatic, and all of it was deliberate. I was laying down scaffolding, one plank at a time, around a structure that had nearly collapsed. And life didn't politely wait while I did this. The 14 years since have been full, more loss, more hard things, more challenges I didn't ask for. A pandemic, a divorce, but also more discoveries, more opportunities, more proof. Every single one of those hard things became a rep. Sorry for the sniffing. A chance to practice the grit, the hope, the resilience. You don't build those by reading about them. You build them the way you build anything real, by doing them. Imperfectly, often. And here's the part I want most of you to hear. If you're reading this from inside your own dark season, today I'm completely independent and in control of my own future. There's still challenges, some of them daily, but I now have something I didn't have at the bottom. Evidence. 100% track record of getting through the awful days. Not perfectly, sometimes clumsily. Sometimes in ways I'd do differently if I had them over. But I'd get through them every single time. And I'm still here. And that's not a feeling anymore. It's a fact I can point to. A few weeks ago I was in Vietnam, helping my partner Karen run a retreat for 18 people. Me, in a foreign country, with a nervous system that has every reason to be overloaded, doing the exact work I always dreamed of doing. And there was a day that nearly got the better of me. The old wiring lit up the way it still does, but I didn't have to white knuckle it. I leaned back on the foundations I'd spent 14 years building so deliberately, and the scaffolding held. I showed up and I got through. Sorry, I think my nose is dripping now. God, snot and tears. That should be the name of my YouTube channel. That trip would have been impossible for the man who couldn't get out of bed. Not unlikely, impossible. And I think that's the thing that I'd carve into stone if I could. The life on the other side of this isn't just the old life restored. It can be bigger, better, and 1,000 times more beautiful than the one you were trying to get back to. So here's what I've got for you, and I mean it really plainly. Keep going. Keep showing up. If you're in the descent right now, the winter, the catabasis, the cold floor of it, I'm not going to tell you it isn't real or that it doesn't hurt, because it is, and it does. But I will tell you, as someone who's been all the way down and come back up, the floor is not where the story ends. It might even be where it begins. You don't need a turning point. You don't need a lightning bolt. You just need the next ordinary day and the willingness to show up for it. Then the one after that, and the one after that. Build your scaffolding one plank at a time. Keep the evidence. Watch what it adds up to. Life can work out better than you ever expected. And I mean that. I'm the proof. And one day, if you keep showing up, so will you. Calm, capable, confident. If you're struggling right now, please reach out for support. If you're in Australia, you can call Lifeline 131114 or Beyond Blue 1300 22 46 36. Anytime, day or night. Use whatever support you need. Thanks for listening. Honestly thought I would get through that without crying at all. Wow, how wrong was I? Anyway, I'm going to leave it as it is. I have a group of people, an online community on the school platform where I meet, teach and learn from people who are in the messy middle. There's a bunch of us that meet every week. We talk about our experiences, the real part that most people don't. I guide people through hard things. We work on identity change, we work on goal setting, motivation, mindset, consistency, all the things that matter when you're going through the messy middle and you still want the most out of your life. Teach you how to build healthy habits the way I have, that have brought me back from the very low parts of my life. And I've taught hundreds of people the same theories one-on-one, and now I'm doing it in a group. If you want the link, it's in the description. It's a group called Rebuild with Tully. I'd love to see you in there. And all the other links, my nose is about to drip again, honestly. All the other links to connect with me, to see what I do and how I do it are down here. And I will see you tomorrow for whatever day it is. I've lost track. I hope this helps. Share it with someone who might need it. Thanks, gang.